in this video, I will be talking about document classes, how to enable options for those document classes, and installing packages and how to actually include them into your code. So here we have an example of a very simple document, as you can see here. Okay, this document class is called article, which means that article is the name of the formatting that you are applying to your document. So if you are using a different format, for example a thesis from your university, then you would actually need to download the class for that particular thesis. So for UTM, we have our document class, which is called UTM thesis. So it's declared here. So you need to download this formatting to actually apply the format. So the standard format that comes with LaTeX, one of it is called article. You have another one which is called book. So book will change this formatting. You just have a look at the spacing over here, and at the page numbering at the bottom, you'll see it changing. So the spacing on the right will be a little bit more larger, okay, and the number will go to the top. So the spacing on the right side is because of the binding of the book, so it gives you a little bit more space to read the text comfortably. So that's the beautiful part about LaTeX. You don't need to worry about all the formatting. It will be done automatically for you. But if you are using other softwares, the vis-a-vis softwares, then you will actually have to adjust all the spacing yourself. So options are actually written in square brackets before declaration of the document class. So options are written here. Okay, one of the option is to increase the font size. So I'm going to increase this. The standard is actually 10. I'm increasing this to 12. Okay, you'll see it increasing. And if you have more than one option, then you need to add a comma followed by, let's say I'm going to put this as 2 columns. So this is going to appear as 2 columns. There. So the type of options that are available will depend on the document class. So for example, for the UTM thesis, this is the document class here. Okay, there's only one option or 2 options, which is one-sided or two-sided. Okay, this is another document class by American Institute of Physics. It's called REVTeX. So this is the document class, okay, here, and you can see there's a lot of options for you to enable or disable here. So this is the name, REVTeX 4-1, and if you are using, for example, the review of scientific instrument, that package, that format, then you just enable this option. So it will be formatted according to this. If you're using AIP, you just remove the command. So how do you get all of these document classes? Is you have to download them. So for UTM thesis, you have to download it from here, okay, from GitHub. So this is GitHub for UTM thesis. You can download the latest template there. I'll put the link at the bottom. And then, for example, the second example that I gave was REVTeX. So if in REVTeX, you have to actually go to here, for example, and you can see, okay, currently the version is 4.2. There's the documentation for that. You can download it. So you need to download, for example, this zip file, and you'll be able to use them. Now, back to our simple example here. So these are the options. Okay, so 2 columns. I'm going to revert this back to single column. Okay, so now I'm back to a single column. So one of the features that I would like to show you is the two-sided. So this means that I can print on both sides, on the front and on the back. Okay, but in order to actually see this, we would need more than one page. So I'm going to input some text here. So input, what this does is actually you're connecting a different document into this. So you're putting a different document into this, and as long as the document is located in the same folder, you can do so. So I'm going to put this 02_theory.tex. So it's just pure text. There is no chapter, section, nothing. It's just blank text. Okay, and I'm going to put this here. So write the name 02theory, and when I compile, it's going to start as a new paragraph. That's all. It's just a simple new paragraph. Okay, give it a second to compile. Okay, so where it stopped earlier, so now we have an extra few more pages, and the new part, which is here now. Okay, the last chapter and the last paragraph is now here, and then it's connected in a new way. There's another way to put in another document, which is called include. Okay, the difference with include is that it will start as a new page. Okay, so now this one here is connected to what this, but this one here is actually here. So you can see this blank space now is now empty, and the next paragraph is starting from a new page. Okay, so now this is two-sided. So two-sided, you can see here and here. So the numbering are opposite to each other. They are not on the same side. So if it's one-sided, okay, the numbering will appear on the same side because you are just flipping one side of the page here. So you are printing it front and back, then it's going to look like the previous version. So now that we are done with this, there's still a lot of things missing. For example, you don't actually have the title for this. So let's include a title. So the title starts here. Okay, this is actually declared in the preamble before the begin document and after the document class. So it's in the middle here. Okay, so I prepared a small title here. Okay, this is my title, and if you compile this, you're going to find that it doesn't appear. There's no difference with the document. You see, there's no change here. That is because these are all just declarations. You're just declaring, saving all of those titles into that. So to actually generate the document or the title, in this case, you need to write make title. So when you do that, then you'll find here you have an extra page here. Okay, and you have a date here, and then you have your documents here. So there's no name, sadly. You can actually include here. So YS, yeah. Okay, and when you compile this, okay, so now the name is that. Okay, now the beautiful part about LaTeX is the spacing is actually calculated automatically. But sometimes, for some situation, you want the spacing to be, for example, it does not break, okay, or it cannot expand or it cannot shrink. So that means the spacing has to be fixed. So for example, typically in the names, we will add a tilde. So that means that it's actually unbreakable, unshrinkable, and a fixed space which will then be applied to the name. So typically for names you can do that. So now it appears like this. Okay, so you have title, you have author, the date. If let's say you want to change the date, you can actually write a different date. For example, 13 March, just a random date here. Okay, so the date will change accordingly. If you always want it to be today's date, you just need to type today. Okay, so now you have this title page. You can also add, for example, table of contents. So this is specific for this particular template, and you can see there's no contents at the moment because there's no chapters, there's no subsection, there's no section. Okay, so you can actually add that in. So let's put this as chapter 1. Okay, you don't need to put the number 1 because it will be numbered automatically. You just need to put the title. So let's call this introduction. Let's put this as chapter, the next chapter. So this is the theory. Okay, let's put this as a new section. Problem statement. Okay, compile it. So now you have your contents. Earlier we didn't have any because, well, there's no differentiation, there's no chapters, there's no section. Okay, and now we have introduction here. Our problem statement, it's blank because we are putting include starts on the new page. So if you don't want to change, you don't want that big space here, it's supposed to go here, you can actually just change that to input. Okay, so now it's joined up to here, so it's even nicer. If you notice, there's an empty space on this side. Well, this is because by default the book will always open on the right side. That means imagine when you're opening a book, this is on the right side and this is on the left side or the behind of the first page, and the content will appear here. So it's quite easy to read. Sometimes when you have some books, novels or something, you'll find that they have this kind of formatting. So the left side is empty and the new chapter starts on the right side. So for example, like this. And if you want it to open on either side, you can actually put it open any. Okay, and you run this. There. So there's no more blank pages. This one will appear on the right, and coincidentally this will appear on the left side of the page. So sometimes it depends on preference. For UTM format, we have already set it in, so you don't need to worry about that. You just you don't need to actually change anything for that. Another feature that you can actually do is to change this. For example, if you see this number is now the number 2, 3, you can actually change this to I. Okay, so in order to do that, you need to separate them. So this will become what we call as front matter. Okay, and where you start writing this, we call it as main matter. So when you compile that, you will find that now this is number 2, this is number 1, which has no page numbering, and this is the other number 1, and 2 is here, 3 is here, and so forth. Okay, so that is for the introduction of the book document class. And in the cases of packages, if you want to use a certain package, and I can guarantee you'll be using a few packages at least. Even the UTM thesis, here we are using a few packages here. Okay, so to actually use the package, you need to type at the preamble /use package, and you can write the package name in between the curly brackets. So a very common package that we use is called the REVTeX. So a REVTeX package, you use it to actually put well, images, figures into your document. I'll show you that in the next video. For now, I want to show you how to install the packages. So let's say you have used this package, but when you compile, there's an error saying that the package does not exist. Okay, so let's try to compile this. I already have the use package REVTeX installed, so there's no problem here. Okay, to actually install new packages for LaTeX, okay, you have to go to LaTeX console, open that, and you will be able to see the list of packages which has been installed. they ask you whether you want to join as an administrator or stay in user mode. So if you want to install, then you have to use this. I'm just going to go for user mode. Okay, here you go. So as you can see, there's a lot of packages, but not all of them are installed. So this is installed. Okay, then you have AE, which is installed. So which one that are required that you might use, then you will have to install. So for example, for UTM Thesis, you have to install these packages. Okay, if you don't use, for example, the landscape package, then this is a landscape package, then you don't need to use it. Okay, for like we have AIP, so you have packages here again. Okay, and if you look at their website, they will actually tell you you need at least this minimum of these packages. So you need to install them before you are able to compile. And with that, we end for today's topic.